thanks. Let's get now to the full metal jacket and the complete metal jacket. When Rudolph was conducting you said he conducted the test on a full market,
on a full metal jacket, yes.
So, what does that mean? If you conducted the test on a CMJ, if you conducted the test on a FMJ, you conducted the test on the CMJ. What did that mean, or what does that mean?
My lord, when we do examination at the lab, when you examine the bullet, maybe compare the bullets from the crime scene with the firearm, or you compare the cartridge cases with the firearm. What we do is we will receive the firearm, we examine the firearm. When we shoot the tests to be compared with the exhibits from the crime scene, we look at the type of exhibits that we have received. If your cartridge cases, let's say for argument's sake, is PMP, I'll shoot the PMP cartridge cases for comparison. Yeah. But if our cartridge cases from the scene are something like cellular and ballot, we'll also shoot the same type of cartridge, because the material of these cartridge cases are not the same, and some of them are hard to, when we shoot a test, you might struggle to find the same, exactly the same type of marks on it. So when using the same type of exhibit, we're expecting to find more or less, or very close, or similar, exactly similar type of marks on it. Cellular and ballot. Cellular and ballot. In instances where I receive the CMJ bullets, I'll also shoot the CMJ bullets.
For my client to understand it as well, the exhibit that were brought to you, were they the CMJs or the FMJs?
Well, the exhibit bullet from the crime scene were the CMJ, correct, not FMJ.
You know why Colonel Rudolph used the FMJ in the examination?
Warrant Officer Rudolph, when he was examining it, he was doing his case, the Cleveland case. And in the Cleveland case, I don't know if there's any CMJs, because the test that he shot, I'm not sure if it's a PMP. I think it was PMP with the FMJ, not the CMJs.
But you were examining the exhibits which are likely to be those that were examined by Rudolph.
Rudolph did the comparison of exhibit cartridge cases from the other crime, the Cleveland, Alexander case.
Yeah.
But if you look at the case that I was doing, the first Laura's case, it's the one bullet of CMJ. So it's two tests of FMJ on Cleveland case, and in this case, it's one bullet of CMJ.
May I approach accused number 3?
Yes, yes.
May I also?
Yebo. You don't want to go there too?
I see no reason why.
Yeah? Okay. All right.
Your indulgence.
Yeah.
We were still on the examination by Rudolph. Okay. You conducted the examination on this with the CMJ, using the CMJs, and the exhibit with the CMJs. So, okay, what was your finding in terms of your microscopic analysis? Did you find anything matching between the exhibits and...
Which test? My test or
yes, your
Warrant
test.
Officer Rudolph's test?
Yes.
My test or Warrant Officer Rudolph's test?
Your test, sir.
With my test, my lord, I went to fetch the firearm. I came back with the firearm. I shot additional tests in that same firearm, and I started to compare them with the exhibit bullet.
How many bullets were in those exhibits? The live rounds.
Meaning the cartridges, the
yes,
live rounds.
Yes.
In which? In a box?
In a box that you found from Cleveland.
I can't recall how many were they.
How many did you test? How many shots, how many bullets did you use to fire
I
the
used
shots?
2 from the box, and the others I took from my office.
What on earth has MNGOMEZULU done to Mangena? Mangena told us in detail how many bullets he tested, but all of a sudden today he can't remember. So let me fill in the gaps because some of us, we listen, okay? I listen. The famous words of Judge Rata. Last year, okay, Mangena told us that he fired 2 CMJ bullets from the box, okay, the blue box that was handed up to the exhibits and everyone got to see the bullet. Yes, that box. He fired 2. And then I feel I have to tell you something before that. Where MNGOMEZULU is going with that. Okay. The box has 18 cartridges. The box has 18 bullets in there, okay? Mangena says he takes 2, which leaves 18 minus 2 is 16. Keep that number in your mind. Keep it in your mind, okay? So Mangena fired 2 of those CMJs, and then he also fired a MJA from his office, and 2 of those, and then he fired another 2 of something else. I couldn't get the name, and then he fired a third one, the FMJ, 2 of those. So in total, he fired 8 bullets. But don't mix it up. From the box, he only fired 2. Let's continue.
Sorry, is it the blue box or the box?
In the blue box, man.
Yeah, at least thermos.
Okay. Now, let me get into this evidence. Or this is the version I'm going to put to you, and this is what is also contained in statements that were made under oath. There's a statement that was made by Longwe Twala, who was in the crime scene before Senzo was shot. According to his statement, he says the intruder was in possession of a 38 special revolver. And the tests that we're doing were on the 9mm. And there's a difference between the 2 firearms, correct?
That's correct, my lord.
So before I get into the size of the bullet, the 38 does not have a cartridge. Does not have a cartridge case.
My lord, it does have a cartridge case.
No. Maybe I'm putting it. What is it that it drops down if you fire the shot? What is it?
It's a cartridge case.
Even the 38 special, it does have the cartridge case.
That's correct, my lord. It does have the cartridge case.
But it doesn't release it to the ground.
My lord, the difference is with a revolver, your cartridges or your live rounds fit into the cylinder,
Yeah.
the revolving cylinder, and you close the cylinder. When you pull the trigger, the cylinder rotates. Put
Yes.
the one aligned with the barrel. You fire a shot. When you pull it again, it rotates against the other one. So it does not eject cartridge cases on the crime scene. You
Yes.
have a pistol. With a pistol, every shot you fire, it ejects cartridge cases on your scene.
Yes. All right. So in this case, let me just put firstly the people who made statements to the investigating officers that the intruders were in possession of a 38 special. I said Longwe said that. Number 2, Kelly Kumalo, in her statement in front of Colonel Steenkamp, if I'm not mistaken, she made a statement to the effect that the intruders were that intruder was in possession of an old 38 special revolver. If she can be called, maybe she can clarify that aspect. But she said
Sorry, I thought you were calling her.
I'll call her, my lord.
Yeah, no, that's what you said.
No, definitely I'll call her.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
No, it's because now I thought you, if she was called.
She said it's a 38 special, an old 38 special. The third person, The third person was that guy from Devon, Tumelo Madlala. He actually gave a description of a firearm to the officer who attended to the crime scene. I think it's Constable Mteto, if I'm not mistaken. And he described the firearm that it had that, what do you call it, that thing that rotates, that
Cylinder.
wheel. You call it what?
Cylinder.
A cylinder.
Flying wheel, they call it.
A flying wheel.
That's township lingo.
Yes.
Yeah.
He said it's got that flying wheel. And the officer who was taking the statement said, no, that is that type of a firearm. It's a 38 special. The fourth person who made a statement is the investigating officer, Brigadier Gininda, on A227, when he brought an application for the warrants of arrest, where he mentioned the 38 special. 4 people mentioned 38 special. And according to your evidence, am I right? Sorry, can I stop them, Mr. Jonas? Tumelo Madlala described the firearm to the officer, Mr. Mteto, and said it's a firearm that has a cylinder. What is it? Yeah, a flywheel. Mr.
We don't want to describe or interrupt my learned friend's cross-examination, but the witnesses have testified there's a court record wherein they qualified their answers. Now, a very broad and generous statement is being put to the witness when the witness who testified have qualified their statements, explained what they meant. It would help if my learned friend was to perhaps refer to the relevant record, quote exactly what the witnesses said, instead of we admire his memory, but it's important that he should quote the relevant portions of the record and state exactly what the witnesses said in order for this witness to answer to such questions.
Yes, Mr. MNGOMEZULU.
I was relying on, I can quote the relevant portion
You're
of
relying
the
on?
records. I was relying on the statements made by these witnesses I'm talking about.
Yeah, but now this gentleman, Mr. Balui, says they actually testified in this court and qualified their answers, meaning the statement, fine, but they qualified their answers here. I take it under cross-examination and re-examination.
The qualification was only made, I think, by Tumelo Madlala, not by the rest of the witnesses I'm talking about, because it's the only one that was confronted with the statement. I'm putting all the statements that were made by...
No, I'm not. I'm just saying what he says.
Yes.
That
There's
is
only
Balui.
one person that was, who qualified his evidence. Being an expert on forensic ballistic, you gave the distinction between a pistol and a revolver. I've put, oh sorry, we're still interpreting, Mr. Before Mr. Baloi interjected. All right, I said, Tumelo Madlala, he gave the description in his statement that this firearm that was in possession of the intruder had a flywheel. And the officer said it's a 38 special.
My Lord, I think my answer is going to be a bit long because I want to explain something.
Yeah,
My Lord, when we look at our crime scene
yeah.
or the incident, where does the incident start and where does the incident stop? How long does it take? All right. When we do incident reconstruction or crime scene reconstruction, my Lord, you divide it into a sequence of events. Right? Your incidents may start when the perpetrators or the suspects enter the house. So they enter the house, The witnesses saw a revolver. After seeing the revolver, there was a struggle between the perpetrators and the witnesses. The mere fact that they saw a revolver when they entered does not automatically say this is the firearm that was used.
What? I don't even know what to say to that. What does he mean? What does he mean? He started off so well. He started off so well. I was listening. I was paying attention. I was like, this is the moment we will know from the ballistic expert what actually happened to Senzo Meiwa, the national goalkeeper of the Bafana Bafana team, okay? The goalkeeper of the Orlando Pirates. His story still, 10 years later, has been turned into a series of Nganegwanes, okay? Every time you think, okay, we get it now. Then comes Stain with a new Nganegwane. Then comes the next witness with the new Nganegwane. And now we have the ballistic expert, 30 years experience, trained by the FBI, and also has a diploma from UNISA in policing. What is going on? Somebody please help me, because maybe it's me. Maybe I'm expecting too much out of him. Did he really say when the intruders entered the Spaza house, they might have been carrying a revolver, but that does not mean that's the firearm that was used? But wait a minute, sir. Wait a minute. Bring me to where you are so that I understand. I just want to ask you this question. Dumelo, Longwe, Kelly Kumalo, Zandi Kumalo said what? It was a revolver, a firearm with a wheel. There were no cartridges at the scene, confirming it's a revolver. But, you know what? I'm not a ballistic expert. I'm only just finding out about full metal jacket and complete metal jacket, okay? One is strong, one is not. There are different manufacturers of these firearms. But what is most important and only thing that we, the members of the jury here at Mzansi Unfiltered, just want to know: who pulled the trigger? Who killed Senzo Meiwa? That's really all we're asking for. And I don't think that is too much. But this Nganegwane, you better take the batteries out of him, because what is he saying? What is he saying? Does he know that this has transcribers? Then Bali is going to transcribe this. And then this is going to be read for years to come. And he is saying what? Oh my God, my mind is blown. But let's listen to the rest of it. I mean, we are forced to continue listening to this. Let's go.
My lord, I can say to the court I've got a BMW keys in my pocket. That does not necessarily mean when I leave this court, I'll be driving a BMW. I might be driving another vehicle. When we do crime scene reconstruction, we look at the physical evidence that is at the crime scene. The bullet recovered in that crime scene or on that crime scene, it's a 9mm bullet. It's not a 3/8 special bullet. So if they saw a revolver when they entered, it does not necessarily mean that was the only firearm that the suspect came with. So the possibility of another firearm that was used cannot be ruled out, since the bullet found, it's a 9mm bullet, not a 3/8 special.
Sir, with due respect, this is not a court of speculations.
Thank you, Ngomezulu. Get him. What was that garbage he was just ranting on about? Telling us that just because I arrived in a BMW doesn't mean I am leaving in a BMW. Let me tell you something. I don't know what car you drove today going to work. I don't know what car the Uber driver picked you up in. But I know for sure that when you return back home, it is not going to be the same Uber driver. And it is not the same car that you left your home with. You can pick any car in the parking lot. We cannot always just assume that because you left with this car that you will return with this car. Can I get an amen? I officially am done. Okay, I'm done. This, you know what? Like I said, take out the batteries. take out the batteries. Let's go and watch reruns of Sibaya, okay? I'd rather watch Gacheni. Okay, go for it, okay? I would rather watch The Queen. Yes, please. Where are these soapies? I would rather watch The River. Where is Lindiwe Matlabantu? Come and get this man. Come and get this man, because what is this? What is this? In a court of law, Ngomezulu, please remind him, this is not a court of speculation. We deal with facts. You telling me about the key? So the intruders had this secret. Did you guys see Muzisinia burst out laughing?
My lord, I'm not speculating.
This
I'll
is-
be speculating if
Sorry,
I say
sir.
the bullet, the
Sorry,
revolver
sir.
was used,
May-
but we find a 9mm bullet at the crime scene.
Sir, with due respect, Colonel, the evidence before this court that the first person who entered the house was in possession of a 38 special. The second person who entered the house was in possession of a sharp object, if I'm not mistaken, not a firearm.
The witness has already answered. My learned friend asked exactly the witness to comment on the evidence he's commented. He said the fact that the witnesses might have seen a .38 special doesn't mean that that was the only firearm that they could have been armed with.
That kind of evidence must, that kind of question must be allowed, because if a witness, if there are witnesses that came to testify in this court, their evidence cannot be changed by a speculation or by any kind of a possibility that might have occurred. You're talking out of your experience. You're not talking about what happened on that day.
No,
My lord,
no, wait. Just I'm listening. Didn't end there. His evidence is he did not find a .38, as you call it, bullet
Yes.
in the house of Miss Kelly Kumalo.
Correct.
He found a 9mm bullet or projectile in the house. So there was no 38, according to you.
there was no
Projectile
evidence.
or
There was
bullet
no
or
evidence of a
whatever you want to call
.38
it.
special at the crime scene.
That's it.
I'll give so many possibilities as you invite more possibilities in this court. Because I even told you that there were senior officers that attended the crime scene. I'll tell you that. I'll give a possibility that when there was contamination of the scene, there was a reason to frame wrong people.
My lord, as I said, my findings or my statements in the reconstruction of the crime scene are based on physical evidence that I got from the crime scene. Whether there were people on the scene, those people will not change my findings. My findings will still remain the same. Whether there was movement or there was contamination of the crime scene, but my findings will remain the same.
I agree with you. If you are giving the wrong exhibits, you'll do examination and give results according to what you are giving. But the concern that I'm raising is that witnesses, including the investigating officer, brought an application under Section 43 and mentioned a 38 special that was used.
My lord, if we're saying I was given the wrong exhibits, if we look at the bullet fragment that was found in the crime scene, it's exactly consistent with the damage that is on the floor. And the shot was fired when those people were still inside, when there was the struggle or argument inside the kitchen. So it's consistent with it. Who will ever bring an exhibit that will fit exactly on your crime scene? It's not possible to do that. The second bullet, because it went through the deceased, it went through the deceased body. It lost a lot of speed, it lost a lot of energy. When it exited the bed, it was tumbling. If you look at the damage on the door, it shows that the bullet was unstable. It hits on the side, and because of the less speed that it had, it ended up where it was found. It was still intact, it was still in shape. There was only a minor dent on that bullet, which shows that on impact, on the door or on the wall somewhere, it has already lost a lot of energy on speed. So it was consistent with the trajectory also on this one. So both exhibits are consistent with the crime scene, how I found the crime scene.
Tell me, were there any cartridge cases that were found at the crime scene?
My lord, there were no cartridge cases found in the crime scene.
If a firearm, if a pistol was used, there was a possibility of the cartridge cases discharged from the firearm.
That's correct, my lord. There was that possibility, but not there must be cartridge cases found. The possibility is there. And if you look at, as I said, if you look at the shot that when the deceased was shot, or was the shot that killed the deceased, as I said, the possibility of a struggle over the firearm cannot be ruled out. In that instance, what could have transpired? If somebody is putting a gun, trying to pull, and you hold the gun on the slide, a shot is fired, you disturbing the cycling of the firearm. The possibility that that firearm is not going to eject firearm cannot be ruled out. So there's a possibility that the shot was fired, but the cartridge case was not ejected.
Sir, my lord, are we adjourning?
No, if you want to continue up to 1:30. I don't know, even 4 o'clock.
Now we can adjourn. my
I'm
lord,
available.
if the court so pleases.
Now, if you want to continue, wrap up your argument about the
I'm not
senior
closer
police.
I'm not closer to rep.
No.
I'm not closer.
I was very interested in that argument.
Is it?
Yeah.
Or may I proceed until I've
Because I'll tell you why. Because you're talking about cartridges, as if we're all talking at different connotations. Am I correct, sir? About cartridges
That's correct, my lord.
and about CMJ
And FMJ.
and FMG. Three different projectiles.
That's correct.
Must be. And the other interesting aspect is when it is put to you that it was a .38, and I'm not saying you're wrong. It's just in my mind is tumbling. After hearing that a .38, I mean a cylinder
Cylinder is rotating.
doesn't eject.
Doesn't eject, my lord, yes.
So, but there were bullets found at that house. You've heard me. Can we come back tomorrow?
I was very interested in that argument, says Judge Rata, because my mind is tumbling because of the projectile, the CMJ, the F. Listen, we are all going to be experts at the end of this, okay? Hands up in the comment section if you knew what a CMT and FMT are prior to Mangena taking the stand, because he's educating us, and now we know that a revolver has what? Cartridges that are ejected. No, a pistol has cartridges that are ejected, but a revolver, it keeps those cartridges in, okay? And there were no cartridges at the scene. And Judge Rata says, but there were bullets found at that house. That is a loaded statement from a sitting judge. He walks off. Is he now an expert as well in bullets? Because he seemed to join in the argument, okay? Did you hear him? Did you hear the judge say, what? That's it. That's it? What do you mean, that's it? After Colonel Mangena explains that physical evidence is physical evidence, and I physically found bullets for what? A 9mm. This 38 whatever theory you guys want to sell me, I don't work with theories. I work with physical evidence, and the evidence I found is for a revolver. And MNGOMEZULU says, yes, I don't dispute that. Okay? Here comes the stalemate. But if you were given wrong exhibits, then of course your test will match, because it's the wrong exhibits. Oh, what a day in court. Let me know your thoughts down below. This is definitely continuing on. As you heard MNGOMEZULU said, he is nowhere near done. Ooh! It is going to go down. 10 a.m. Let me know in the comment section down below if you will be joining or you are digressing off to work, says another comment I saw yesterday. Thank you so much for all your support. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll be here with all the burning updates for you, keeping it coming as they develop. Wow. I wonder what Ngomezulu's consult was with Umuzi Sivia. This is incredible. All right, let me let you go. So we can get ready. Bye.